In the Philippines, it's very common to go out with someone rather than alone because dining and traveling alone can signal loneliness. Have you ever noticed how different cultures show care in completely different ways? Living in Finland shows a strong focus on independence, and adults here are expected to manage their own lives, and it's celebrated. It's even seen as a form of respect, which by contrast, in many cultures, including mine, we place more emphasis on caring for parents. It's expected, it's moral, and I'd say relational. And sometimes these two values don't really line up perfectly. And that's exactly what I want to talk about today. And allow me to approach this topic in a more casual way where it feels like I'm sitting in front of you and you are welcome to share your perspective at the end of the video so we could both learn from each other. Hi everyone, this is me again, Joe, and welcome back to the channel. So, in today's episode, I'm gonna talk more about how cultures shape both family and social expectations. Let me start with Finnish independence. Here in Finland, social systems are designed to support parents while promoting independence, meaning home care, assisted living, and other service programs allows parents to live independently without relying heavily on their children. So here's how I see it. The culture is simple. Independence equals dignity. And many parents manage their own lives independently. And children are expected to just focus on their own households and careers. Care looks like giving trust, space, rather than constant presence. Now, let me explain how it plays out in Filipino family values. In Filipino culture, families are more interdependent. So, caring for parents is often considered as moral and relational duty. Let me be clear, especially to outsiders. Children may contribute financially, spend time with elders, and being present. And that's an important way for Filipino culture to show respect and gratitude. And social norms also extend beyond family to friendships and relationships. Let me give you an example. In the Philippines, it's very common to go out with someone rather than alone because dining and traveling alone can signal loneliness. And in contrast, here in Finland, people frequently travel or dine and enjoy activities alone without any concern. Similarly, relationships are built on different expectations. And based on my observation, Finnish partners often give each other autonomy, meaning they don't need constant check in. While in Filipino culture, staying connected through updates is a sign of care and respect. And children and partners often communicate frequently, even after permission is granted. And sometimes, if partners refuse, we don't insist on going. Okay, let's talk about cultural tensions based on observations. And these differences highlight an interesting dynamic. For example, in a family settings. Okay, in family settings, Finnish children, especially when they are adult, they rarely inform their parents their whereabout, like for example, who they are with, what time are they gonna return home. While in contrast, in Filipino cultures, keeping parents informed is part of our daily life. And as a Filipina, we tend to always get constant messaging of where we are going, what time are we gonna get home, how many days, who we are with. See it like this. In some cultures, love is shown through autonomy, respecting autonomy, trust, and space. While in my culture, it's more of constant presence, respect, and protection. So, another area where cultural differences really show up is money. And most of us really don't want to talk about it. Why? Okay, let me explain. In Finland and in many Western cultures, borrowing money is transactional, right? Meaning, if someone borrowed you money, it's expected that it's going to be returned. It's not personal, it's about structure, clarity, and boundaries. Let me tell you how is it like in Filipino culture because it works very differently. Borrowing money in my culture and repayment is often flexible, sometimes delayed, or quietly considered as help rather than a loan. And sometimes it's just a thank you rather than a deadline. I understand. Some of you might think it's being irresponsible, but it's not. In my culture, it's relationship-based system, meaning it's tied to closeness rather than contracts. These differences show up in family dynamics. Here in Finland, elder care and financial support mostly covered by public systems. So, meaning the children are not obliged to contribute financially to their parents. While in Filipino, the financial support often comes from children, even if the parents are still capable. Some psychologists call it as sandwich generation, wherein adults also support their aging parents while still building their own lives or raising their own children. So financial responsibility becomes emotional, carrying gratitude, duty, and long-term planning all at once. Combining these cultural perspectives shows that caregiving can evolve. Finnish independence teaches planning, boundaries, and using systems effectively, while Filipino values is more on emotional support, presence, and warmth. So, for example, an elderly person lives alone, but the children calls daily, or arrange visits and checks on meals. This shows both autonomy and attentive caregiving. So when you look at caregiving across cultures, there's no single right way. So independence and family support aren't opposites. They're complementary. And that's a lesson anyone navigating cultures can take to heart. And that sums up our topic for today. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you when I see you. Bye!